I'm delighted that Professor Ben Golder has been recognised for his HDR supervision. Ben has supervised a number of candidates. Many have gone on to fabulous research careers around the world. He has done so by ensuring that candidates are engaged with their research.
For me, the most important characteristic of being a supportive supervisor is being able to help my students draw out their own argument. What distinguishes the kinds of work that I do with my students perhaps from the kinds of supervision that my colleagues in science or engineering, for example, might do is that my students come not to work on a project but with their own ideas. And so supervision for me is about drawing out their ideas, making sure that their thesis gets articulated as strongly and clearly and powerfully as they can, not in my terms but in theirs. And so a good supervisor is the kind of supervisor who can enter into their ideas and their concepts and help them make the argument that they want to make.
Ben's students are impact focused, they're collaborative, and they have a true understanding of how they fit into the research system. That means that they've been able to go on into the world to have fabulous research careers.
The impact that Professor Golder has had on my study experience has been fairly large, and that's because I was probably going to quit my PhD until I met Professor Golder. He invited me down to University of New South Wales and introduced me to people, and I ended up completing my PhD under his supervision at University of New South Wales. Without Professor Golder, I'm not sure that I would have completed my PhD.
A strong focus on research, engagement and leadership skills has meant that Ben's students are being able to forge excellent research careers. In many cases they've done exceptional jobs as they've gone on from their PhD work.
I tend to think about how I work as a supervisor as a set of practices. The first of those is a really close and intellectual attention to the ideas and the thoughts of my students. Really trying to enter into their ideas, to be interested in them, to be energised by them, so as to try and help them make those arguments that they want to make as strongly as possible. Doing a PhD is incredibly difficult, can be incredibly isolating, and so building those kind of supports around my students, helping them connect with each other in groups to really foster their own ideas and skills as the program develops.
Professor Golder's supervision approach fostered a sense of belonging for me at University of New South Wales. He showed me that he actually cared about the things that I was researching, and he also introduced me to other PhD students, other faculty members, all of whom took an interest in what I was working on and what I was doing, which showed me that the things that I cared about are also the things that they cared about.
For me, the most defining aspects of my own PhD experience and what actually helped me get through was being in reading groups, was going to lectures with other students, discussing ideas, sharing ideas, sometimes in a seminar room, sometimes at the pub. And so I have found that that has been really crucial in my work as a supervisor, trying to bring students together as often as possible. Part of the joy and the challenge of being a PhD supervisor is actually trying to work out on an emotional or a psychological level what works for your individual student and trying to tailor your supervision, your teaching to that particular problem so that, again, they can develop their own ideas, their own thoughts, and they can write their own original contribution to knowledge, which is what a PhD is supposed to be.
I wish to congratulate Ben for the award of the Australian Council Graduate Research Supervision Award. It's richly deserved.